So if you haven't guessed it, today we're going to be reviewing the Raspberry Pi starter kit. This is for the Raspberry Pi 3. It is a great kit, so we're just going to get right into it. It does come packed full of lots of accessories. It has the keyboard, the USB power supply on there, the USB mouse, the micro SD card, the HDMI cable, as well as the book Adventures in Raspberry Pi, the second edition. Now, just so you're aware, there is a third edition out there already, and it looks like it has another project in it, so I wouldn't mind checking that out in the future and kind of check it out, see what kind of fun's in there. So we're just going to go bit by bit here. We're going to look at everything here, and then I'll discuss some of it that I've learned over the time here, the things I liked and the things I didn't like. And this could vary from user to user, and I might just be a little picky. So here we go. So first of all, we're going to discuss the Raspberry Pi mouse here. Now this mouse, it is branded with the Raspberry Pi logo. It has a killer design. I absolutely love the design on this guy. It's got lights up red. It looks pretty cool. It feels good in the hand. It's definitely comparable to a lot of the Logitech mice that I have, that I use around here. So I'm quite happy with that guy. It is a corded unit, so for a beginner kit, that is more than okay. So one less thing to worry about when it comes to connectivity or batteries or anything like that. You just plug it in and away you go. So I really like this, and I like the touch that they did on the HDMI cable is they added their logo onto the HDMI cable there. I don't know if you can see that well enough or not, but we'll see if we can focus that in a little bit. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, it definitely looks a lot better now that they have the logo on it, and you cannot mistake which one goes to your Raspberry Pi because of the logoing on it. So that's kind of cool. It looks like it's just a 3-foot cable, or a little bit under. So anyways, that's a great little cable to have in your kit. So let's talk about one of the elephants in the room, and that is this guy here. This is the first version. Let me just see if I can. This is the first version of this keyboard here that came in the kits that I know of. There might be previous ones, I'm not too sure, but it is lacking where the newer ones are actually doing a lot better. This one does not have the USB ports on the front or the micro USB input connector on it. It is just a flat keyboard, but it does do the trick, and it is going to work well for people that are just starting their adventures in Raspberry Pi. Now, for me, I found a couple of things to be the problem with this, and a lot of it had to do with the actual keys on the keyboard. Now, to me, I was hitting buttons completely off, even having my hands on the home rows. I was not typing correctly at all. So doing simple tasks, I would always have to hit the backspace and retype and hopefully hit the right buttons, whereas on other keyboards I have no problems. It's all fluent and really easy. So I don't know if it's due to the spacing of the keys or what it is with it. It just was it didn't feel right. So to me, that was a big fail. I'm not worried about this keyboard not having the USB ports on it. It would have been nice for them to incorporate that right off the bat, but once again, it's not needed. You got 4 USB ports on the Raspberry Pi, so lots of room to add all your stuff in there. So anyways, the keyboard, it's okay. It's definitely not one I would use as a daily keyboard, but that's just me. If that's one that you get used to using right off the bat, then it will be more than fine for you. But to me, it just, for my hands, it really wasn't working. Finally, we have the Raspberry Pi 3 in this wonderful case. Let me just put the case back together here. somewhat, so I can open it back up. So in this case, everything fits nice in here. I love the fact that you can remove everything, all your sides, if you choose to, really quickly to get access to your GPIO ports. And you even have on the top here, you're able to actually remove that and be able to do more stuff when it comes to the top part here. So if you wanted to run your camera through there, or if you wanted to run another display, the only thing about this case that really wasn't useful to me was the fact that I didn't have my ribbon cable for connecting up to the GPIO to a breadboard. So as you've seen at the beginning there, or on some of the pictures that I've posted, it's all female to male cables that I'm using, which it would have been nice to just use the breakout board kit with it. And that brings me to my next point here, coming up in just a moment. We'll finish up here. So yes, we do have the Raspberry Pi 3 in there. The rubber feet that came in the box were actually inside here, so you had to open up the case to gain access to them. And I'll just show you here. We'll just get in a little bit tighter here, and there we go. So all in all, I love the Raspberry Pi 3. It's definitely been the most funnest board that I've used. I still use them in all my projects pretty much. You know, I have one Raspberry Pi 4 that I'm using as my desktop and recording the audio for this video in with Audacity. So yeah, there you go. Raspberry Pis are always working around here. There is more information regarding the Raspberry Pi 3 on the Element 14 community and raspberrypi.org, so make sure to check the description below and see the links to them to get more information on this kit, as well as the board in here as well. So like I said, there was an issue I had. So my major issue with it all was the fact that there was no cables included in the kit. They should have actually added a breadboard, a GPIO connector to the breadboard, as well as just a few components to be able to do the few projects in the adventures in Raspberry Pi. Now the kit itself is great, and it gets you set up with all the basic things you would need right away. And the adventures in Raspberry Pi, you don't need many components to be able to build all the things that are included in it. So it would have been nice to have seen another supplier or someone come in and be like, yeah, throw our product into your kits. Because then you're able to utilize the book to its fullest potential. So that was my biggest thing. You were not able to fully enjoy the book unless you had the parts. Now, I did have all the parts separately, so I was able to go through the book from start to finish without any issues and without stopping and having to order things and do all that. Take that into consideration in your future buys when you buy a kit. That brings us to the final product, and that is the book that is included. This is just my overview review kind of thing, you know, just letting you know what I think after my first uses with this kit here, of what I thought of it so far. So the only other thing with this case that I thought could have been a little bit different was, well, nothing. I love the case. I love the logo on the front of it. I love the actual case itself. It's really cool. So I wouldn't change anything there. To me, it was all the things that were included in the kit. So I think that might be Raspberry Pi's option there in the future to put together kits where they can do the full book with it and have all those components there for people. So that's my biggest thing, is having all the parts there, because if I was to buy this for one of my kids, I would want everything that needed to be in the box for them to enjoy, because a lot of parents do not know that much about the Raspberry Pi. So there we go, Raspberry Pi. Add more stuff to your kits, add a couple bucks more, make people happy. But all in all, I like your kits. Now, I could go in depth on this guy from cover to cover. Am I going to do that today? No. But I'm going to give a few things what I thought of the book. So going through the book, it did keep me engaged, and I wanted to continue building and doing a lot of the projects that are in here. There is the 9 awesome projects, and they're a lot of fun. They get you involved in all aspects of using the Raspberry Pi, from getting it set up to building your own jukebox that I did in the final project in this edition that you saw at the beginning of the video. So I think Carrie Ann Philbin did a wonderful job on this book. There is a lot I could critique, just because I have used the Raspberry Pi a lot and I've done my own little course on it, so I kind of, to me, I guess I would teach things a little bit differently, but that's just me, so I'm not going to say anything too much on that, unless you guys really want my honest opinion. I will definitely give that to you. So with that being said, this book is definitely worth the read. Definitely fun to go through all the coding projects right away and then start building those other projects where you need other parts. Excellent book, definitely one for the shelf. Get the 3rd edition if you do get one, but if you buy the starter kit, just know that it's going to be fun no matter what. It's going to get you going. I would love to see the difference in the 3rd edition versus the 2nd edition here, and to just kind of see how much it's grown, and maybe if they actually changed a few things that I made notes on in this book here. Get a copy of this, check it out whenever you can. If you're new to Raspberry Pi, it's going to help you out a lot and understand how to do simple programming things and build simple circuits. So that is a bonus. So to me, this book gets a B+, and I say that because there's a few things I do differently, but that's it. So all in all, this kit is great for anyone starting out in Raspberry Pi and needs a little bit of everything to get their projects going. So when it comes to the Raspberry Pi, just keep into consideration of what you're buying and what you're getting in your kit. I enjoyed it. Everything that was included in here. To me, the Raspberry Pi 3 will always be my favorite board. Regardless if it's the 3 or the 3B+, I absolutely love them. And I probably would never say anything bad about them, even if someone paid me to, because they are just such a great board. One last thing I must say is make sure you post your questions below, and make sure to check out my other video and on the road test that I'm doing here for element 14, and let me know your questions that you have on this kit. All the links are in the description below, so make sure you check them out and help me out, and let's see what kind of fun we can have with the Raspberry Pi. Now, I think for me, I'm done with this kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to my daughter to play with for a few weeks and see if she can't break it, have fun with it, and see how she likes it, and maybe I'll post a little follow-up on that. But I think what I'm going to do is, for sure, I think I'm going to give something away, because it was given to me, so why shouldn't I give it to you, or the other person that I just said that to? Why not? So for sure, at least you will get the Adventures in Raspberry Pi book with all my notes and every little scribbling that I've done in here, highlighted and done up, that I think are important and everyone should learn. So make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and post your comments below and let me know what you think about the Raspberry Pi 3. So thanks for watching, everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?